This presentation is about animal testing, created by Natalie Kahl and Hernandez. We're going to talk about the survey we did on 200 participants and link the answers to the liberalism and Marxism theories.
In question 1, 78.7% of the people said that it is not ethical to test cosmetics on animals for human benefit, and 21.3% said that it is ethical. In question 2, 38.6 people said that it is ethical justifiable for medical research, and 59.9% said that is not ethical even if it's for medical research. Someone also said that it could be ethical just in very specific cases like medical researches, or that it wouldn't be ethical or justifiable even if it's for medical purposes. In question 3, 70.5% of the people said that animals should have rights similar to humans when it comes to experimentation, and 28% said that they shouldn't. Some people also said that animals shouldn't have equal rights to humans, but we should protect them. For question 4, 80.1% of the people said that pain relief should always be required in animal testing for medical procedures, and 18.4% of the people said that it shouldn't be required.
In question 5, many people answered that they are unaware of cruelty-free alternatives for animal testing. Thankfully, there's a grand majority that answered that they are aware, with a 53.9%, and others showed skepticism in there being a cruelty-free way to perform animal testing. In question 6, as seen with the answers, there were a majority of people that said that it depends on the product. This shows that sometimes people aren't willing to give up on what they want or like for the sake of other sentient beings. A 40% said they wouldn't buy from such companies, and a 16.4% said they would. And the minority said that there are instances where companies lie about animal testing, so this also shows skepticism. On question 7, the majority of people answered sometimes, and there were a lot of people that answered they never checked, and also the fewer answers were they always check. On question 8, 75.6% of people answered medical research, and 24.4% answered cosmetic testing. Now, to link the answers of the people to the liberalist and Marxist theories, when the subjects were asked if it's ethical to test cosmetics on animals for human benefit, a 78.7% of respondents opposed the practice. This is an overwhelming majority that suggests a strong public awareness of the topic as well as an inclination towards morality and animal welfare. This answer specifically can be linked to the liberal perspective, demonstrating the individuals opposing animal testing suggesting there are ethics and morals involved and think that animals should be protected from suffering. In contrast to this, when the same question was made, but this time the element of medical research was in question, the opposition dropped to a 59.9%. This shows that fewer people reject animal testing when human health benefits are a part of it. With this, liberalism changes a little bit into trying to justify animal cruelty for the benefit of saving human lives. So, the Marxist viewpoint can be seen as well, since using animals for medical or cosmetic research is a capitalist manifestation of exploitation for profit. The question of whether animals should have rights similar to humans in experimentation had a 70.5% of respondents agreeing. With this response, it can be seen that the majority of people do align with the liberalist view of the rights of animals and reducing suffering, and as Marxism says, reduce exploitation for human gain. The survey question that asked whether respondents were aware of cruelty-free alternatives to animal testing, there was a 43.7% that said no. This is quite a high number of people lacking knowledge about the ethics in testing methods. This lack of awareness from a liberal point of view suggests that there's a need to be more consumer education to make people make the right ethical choices. And it has been seen that there are alternatives that sometimes can be even more effective and cost beneficial. And from a Marxist point of view, this lack of knowledge is a product of the capitalist structure that wants to limit consumer awareness. These responses suggest that there are people who do not want animals to be harmed, but there's also a lack of ethical awareness in the topic. And it also shows that people will bend their ethics if it benefits them. So it can be seen that there are many contradictions in the answers, and it also showcases the liberalist and Marxist views of the topic.
Liberalism is a political and ethical theory. It is based and rooted on the rights of human beings, freedom and moral responses. When we apply this to the topic of animal testing, liberalism theory is mostly influenced by the classical liberalism, which emphasizes human benefits, and modern liberalism that prioritizes animal welfare and protection. Liberalism holds that animals should have legal and moral protection, and Rawls' theory of justice also quotes that a just society should consider the interests of the most vulnerable, included animals.
Thanks to the liberalist model, there are many companies and international entities that have been working to ensure that there are better guidelines and ethical standards taking place. These entities have created a wave of change throughout many countries that have, thanks to the international standards, changed their ways of using animal testing. So, liberalism is an effective tool to reduce or even eventually eliminate animal testing worldwide. Another example of this is in the case of China, who changed the regulations going from animal testing being mandatory for any cosmetic production to it not being necessary any longer. All of this to fit into the international trade norms to attract more foreign companies or buyers. It can also be seen with the European Union, who banned animal testing for cosmetic production. This can be seen with the following citation. Also, the OECD, that has also created safety guidelines for chemicals and the use of animal testing in scientific research. There's also a citation for this. There is also the International Cooperation of Alternative Testing Methods that replaces animal testing with alternative methods. This can also be seen with the following citation. So, to start off, let's talk about this quote on how Marx saw animals. In the German ideology, Marx and Engels famously commented the following. With this quote, it can be seen that Marx creates a correlation between animal suffering or the destruction of nature due to capitalism and the consumerism of people who pollute nature for their materialistic ways. So, from a Marxist perspective, animal testing can be seen as a part of the capitalistic system, where society profits off of scientific and technological practices that can harm animals and have ethical concerns. All of it due to capitalism, since they treat animals as biological resources for cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, scientific industries, rather than being treated as sentient beings. So, Marxism is a direct critique of animal testing in the way it thinks that these companies gain billions of dollars in revenue by performing animal testing without prioritizing ethical alternatives. Due to the money gain, right? Also, taking into consideration that these are private companies that prioritize money instead of the well-being of humans or even animals. Ethical perspectives of Marxism and liberalism. So, Marxism thinks that there are no ethical perspectives when it comes to the capitalistic ways, since it only wants to exploit animals. So, to have these ethics in the topic, Marxism believes it is necessary to challenge these systems of oppression. As for liberalism, it is believed that animals, as sentient beings, deserve to have ethical considerations and morals taken into account, and thus reduce animal suffering and create laws and regulations to protect animals.
In vitro testing, this method uses human cells and tissues to study drug effects and toxicity. By creating 3D tissue models, they can mimic human organs, leading to more relevant and accurate results without harming any animals. On human-based research, microdosing involves giving very small doses of chemicals to human volunteers, providing valuable insights while ensuring safety. Finally, education and training is very important. By researchers giving knowledge about cruelty-free alternatives, we can ensure that next generation of scientists prioritizes humane methods. Plus, public awareness campaigns can shift perceptions and increase demand for ethical practices. We can start by choosing cruelty-free brands or looking for certifications that these certifications ensure that no animal testing was conducted at any stage of the production. You can also research brands and their policies regarding animal testing and their commitment to have better practices. Many brands have or provide this information on their websites. You can also opt for vegan products, avoid animal delivered ingredients, or choose products that do not contain animal ingredients such as dye, fats, or gelatins. Look for products labeled as vegan, which indicates they contain no animal ingredients and are not tested on animals.